Hi everyone, it's Tonya, and it's day 13 of the Marion Smith Challenge, and I got a lot done today, but I'm not going to show you. I'm just going to tell you about it because the video is getting too long, and I've got a lot I want to say in this video. So, to start with, under the table is clean. I'll show it to you tomorrow maybe. But I got up really super early this morning. I got it cleaned up, got it organized. Then my husband came up with this genius idea for lighting in here. It is pitch black outside right now, and look at how bright my station is. So kudos to the hubby. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Sometimes I just am not thinking, and he helps me work through some of that sometimes. Another thing I wanted to share with you is I want to do just a couple of tips today. I've worked in the graphic design industry for quite a while now. I've worked in computing. Between computing and graphic design, I've worked probably close to 20 years now. So I have a couple of tips I want to give you guys. One is when you get your CDs or your photographs, when you're taking digital photography is all the rage right now. Very few things are printed to film. When you go to store your photos, big tip, don't leave your photos on your camera cards. Don't do it. They will get erased. They are way too easy to come in contact with other things. I've heard so many people just lose their photos. The other thing is if you put them onto your hard drive, that's fine, because I know my hard drive is slammed full right now. I have an external hard drive that's slammed full. But my workflow is this: whenever I store things to CD, when I put things on my laptop, I automatically burn a DVD. And that brings me to the other thing. When you are writing on your DVDs, use a Sharpie or something like that. Do not use a ballpoint pen. I had a friend who wrote, she was on an Alaskan cruise, went into the computer lab, and just picked up the first pen available, which happened to be a ballpoint pen, wrote on the top of a CD, Alaskan cruise, whatever the year was. When she got home, she couldn't read she couldn't read the data that was on the CD because the CD had been scratched by the ballpoint pen, and it was giving a read-write error the whole time. Nothing could be done to get the... And she said you could hold the CD up and look at the back of the CD. You could see the scratching coming through from the other side of the CDs. Don't do that. The other thing is always keep up with whatever the latest media type is. I also have friends in the computer world, we were joking about this the other day, that have data that is stored on 3¼ inch floppies. 3.5 inch floppies and 5¼ inch floppies. Guess what, guys? There is not a computer in the world with those optical drives any longer. So, data lost. Keep up with whatever the latest storage media is. Like, I've started, I've got an online service that I use, and I'll put a description, in the description at the bottom, I'll put the name of that service, where I pay a very small amount during a year. It's a yearly fee. Upload all of my photos to that service. I have it set up so that it automatically hits an external hard drive and searches for any new data that's on that external hard drive. So if for some reason that drive dies or anything, a national disaster happens in my area, like God forbid a hurricane or a tornado blow through here unexpectedly, that data is backed up. So keep those in mind. Another thing is yesterday I showed you guys my dyeing technique that I came up with, and I'm going to call it like a color wash. And I'm not sure if you can see that in the video or not, but do you see the glimmer that's in there? Last night after I got home and was thinking about it, and I started dyeing all of these pieces, I decided to go ahead and put, like, the end of a popsicle stick of Perfect Pearls, and I used the bronze color because I thought that coppery bronze color would look good with this gold, and it would pull out the peachy values that are also in the book. I put it into the water and swirled it around really, really good, and every one of these have a unique glimmer pattern to them, but look at how beautiful that is. I'm going to stand up and see if I can get this in the video where you can see the color. Look at that. Look at that shimmer. Look. So Anyway, all of my tags are officially cut for my class. I'm completely done with cutting these up. And for the book, I needed, and these are going to be the little photo mats that are in here. I needed 5 for each book, so I have 75 of them between the ones that are already here and cut up and ready to go, and the ones that are around the room trying to dry. I am officially finished with that task, so I'm super excited about that. I've already got the paper put together I've started these kits, and truthfully, I'm almost done putting the kits together. I'm super excited about that. So there's that. The other thing I wanted to share with you is, while we're on the subject of that, I had someone sent me a private message yesterday going off about how I need to be careful about suggesting things like Ritz dye because they may or may not be acid free. I had someone else ask me on the page, who was extremely polite about it, just asked the question and said, is the Ritz dye acid free? Okay, here's my point on this, and I didn't want to turn this into a soapbox, but it's been bugging me all day, but I'm going to go ahead and say it anyway. I read the back of the bottle, and I didn't see anything that stuck out as being acid. But I'm also not a chemist, and I'm not going to go look up every single word that's on the back of this bottle. And you and I both know that I don't care what's written on the back of this bottle. It may not all of the contents of this bottle may not be included in it. So here's my point of view on this. The only thing I saw that could be a concern is maybe the high salt content that's in here. It is an extremely, extremely concentrated dyeing solution. It is used for clothing. It is used for towels. So I can't imagine that they would have anything acid in here, knowing that it was going to be touching skin, but I could be wrong because vinegar is an acid. And a lot of dyes use vinegar as a setting solution. If you are concerned about the acid content of this Ritz dye, don't use it. That's all I'm going to say. I will not be held liable for anybody's pictures that are screwed up or messed up or didn't last 1,000 years because you took the advice of something that I gave you. I don't care. I mean, seriously, when we get down to it, I really don't care. When you put together an album like this, a mini album, I feel like it is not an acid-free product. Even though I used acid-free papers in here, it is put together. There is chipboard in here. I cannot attest to the fact that chipboard is acid-free. There are a lot of scrapbook companies that sell scrapbook supplies that are not acid-free. If you add metal to this in any way, shape, or form, it is no longer acid-free. If you touch something, it is no longer acid-free. Your hands contain chemicals and oils that will deteriorate photos. If you are concerned because the photo that you intend to use is an heirloom photo, then don't use it. That's the best advice I can give you. I'm not going to get into a debate over only acid-free stuff. I'm not going to go into all of that because I feel like it's like fighting over a PC and a Mac. It's a matter of preference. My mini albums are made to be touched, loved, looked at. If my photo is an heirloom photo, I will take it down to a photo center and get it copied and use the copy. I am not going to put all of my time and effort and hard work into an album that no one is going to look at, because let me tell you something right now. As soon as you open this book and expose it to light, you are killing the photograph that's inside of it. So the heirloom photos that I have of my grandparents that I cannot replace, I have either scanned them and I'm using the scanned copies to make my albums, or I don't use them. That's just how I feel about it. So do not send me any further hate mail on this subject, because I'm just going to hit delete and possibly block you, because I don't care. I know that sounds terrible. As a scrapbooker, you should be care. But I'm telling you, there are things that we can all do to help preserve our memories, and I am a big advocate of those things. I mean, truthfully, like I said, if it's your heirloom photo, put it in a box, put it on top of the shelf in a fire safe, water safe box, and store it somewhere, and never open it, never look at it. I mean, never. If you're using chipboard and stuff like that, then it's just going to be torn up anyway. So that's my advice. Just don't do it. Okay, off the soapbox. On to the next thing. Bona had put out a video about Sizzix customer service the other day, and I just kind of want to add to that a little bit. When I first got my top note die, because I buy these when they first come out, they didn't have the ejection foam that goes in the center of them. And I was complaining about the fact that the paper got stuck in here because I didn't even know there was an ejection foam. But when you put the die cut in here and there's no ejection foam, it gets stuck, like your paper gets stuck like that. And then you have to pry it out or whatever, and you can't get it out. Well, I was complaining about it in a local scrapbook store, and the lady told me to call Sizzix and they would send me ejection foams in the mail. Then I heard Tim Holtz also mention it on his 12 Days of Christmas tags. Back in October, I requested, I requested it first in October, and then I tried again when I heard the Tim Holtz thing in December for Sizzix to send me some ejection foams for my dies because I just don't have them. And I never got anything from them. So here we are, middle of January? I won't hold my breath. So this was my quick fix, and I'm not sure how many other people have this problem, but this is my solution. I went to Michael's and I bought this foam, and it's like the black fun foam, but it's super duper thick. And I just took and cut a little piece of it off and doubled it so that there was two. And then I ran it, I put like some hot glue on it and put the two pieces together and then put a magnet on the back. And it's perfect. I have cut out 75 of these top notes, and none of them have gotten caught inside of that die. So there's my quick fix. I've given you a couple of tips in this video. I hope you enjoy it, and I hope I didn't offend anybody with my acid-free comment. But like I said, I'm not even going to discuss it with anybody because I don't care. I know that sounds terrible because I own a scrapbook store, but if I shoot in digital, it's not my only copy, and I don't care. I make this. I spend all of this time working on these albums for people to enjoy them and to touch them and to play with them. And trust me, after about a year or two of messing with this thing, the pages start to fall apart. Some things fall off of them. I live in Florida. It's a very humid environment. Things are going to deteriorate with time, but you know what? At least I know in my lifetime that they were enjoyed. So that's all I'm going to say about it. Thank you for watching. And I had one other person ask me about food coloring. I don't know about food coloring. I've never tested it or tried it, but I know food coloring has food in it, so it may mildew. Be careful with that. So that's all I have to say. Thank you guys, and I will talk to you tomorrow on day 14. Thanks.